Hey everybody, I'm Dan French. I'm the operating officer here at Contego International. This is a video to help better understand how to apply product to steel correctly so that you're not wasting your materials, so that you're using the proper application. We're going to basically guide you through a series of mixing, spraying, how to read the equipment, how to better understand your application, the tip sizes, the weather. We're going to start with going over the proper equipment and the tools you need so that you can do this properly. Talk a little bit about some necessary items you're going to need to prepare to start spraying. You're definitely going to want to wear some sort of coveralls. You're also going to want to have a respirator. And you are going to need some safety glasses. And it's important you wear the safety glasses because paint can get in your eyes while you're spraying above your head. And it's also very important, again, that you use the respirator. One of the biggest mistakes in the field is people do not have the proper equipment to apply the product, so they run into all kinds of issues. We recommend Graco pumps. Any pump that can pump 3,300 PSIs and has the proper hose size will do the same project, although we are familiar with the Graco pumps and we like them. This is the smallest pump that I recommend. It's a 1095. This at 3,300 PSI. It's adjustable from the side and is easy to use. When applying Contego, one of the most important aspects of doing that is proper conditions. It might be too cold when you're trying to apply it. It might be too hot when you're trying to apply it. The humidity may be too high. So it's very important that through this video we educate you on all the different things we can so that you can get this done right. While using these types of pumps, you must make sure you remove the filters. You cannot have filters when spraying the Contego material. Typically, this type of pump has two filters. It'll have a filter here, and it'll have a filter in the spray tip right here. And you want to remove that filter, and you want to remove this filter. It's very, very important that you remove the filters. One of the biggest mistakes that people make is not removing the filters. I'm going to demonstrate to you how to remove the filter. Most guns are primarily going to be the same. Take the top off, pull this out, pull out the filter. The second thing you need to deal with on filters, if you don't have a feed-through gun and you have a filter tip gun, you need to remove the filter in the body right here. Very simply done. You pull this pin off, and in here will be a filter that you grab and pull out. It's very important that you make sure you do not have a filter in the system. Talking about primers, just want to give you a good picture of the type of primer that we recommend. And the reason we recommend it is because it is a good high solids alkyd primer. We're going to give you a brief demonstration of how to stir the material properly. Contego also has very easy to remove lids. You just tear the strip off and pull the lid off. Some of the mistakes people make when they get to the field is they don't have the proper mixing equipment and can't get the Contego coating mixed up properly. I like to apply the drill in about 1/3 to 1/2 of the way and start mixing. And while you're mixing the Contego coating, be sure to kind of make some revolutions in the paint, because if you don't and you just go in one direction or just follow one side, you're not going to get the entire bucket mixed up properly. I also like to start at the top and work my way to the bottom. The reason for that is if you start at the bottom and you pull the mixer up, the paddle will fling the paint all over the place. Be sure to go in a circular motion all the way down so you can properly get the material mixed from the top to bottom. We recommend that you mix the Contego coating for 3 to 5 minutes to get proper mixing inside the bucket. Now that we have the Contego all stirred up, we're going to put the sprayer into the bucket. We have the pump into the Contego, we're going to prime the pump. Almost all your sprayers have a prime and a spray. You want to make sure when you're priming that you're getting a good thick coat of paint out of there instead of water. Next thing we're going to do after priming the pump is we're going to prime the hose or purge the hose so we get all the water out of the machine. Be sure when you're purging the hose that you get all the water out and you have nothing but the Contego. Now we're going to apply the proper guard and the proper tip. Different tips take different guards. For example, the blue tip takes the blue guard. Some of them are interchangeable, but it's important to have the proper guard with the proper tip. Since we're going to start with the box columns, I've chosen a 21 tip. You just screw the guard on. Get the proper tip, insert the tip, and then finish tightening the guard. Some people like to spray back and forth, and some people like to spray up and down. Depending on where the guard is positioned, if it's in this position, you're just going to have a different pattern. If it's in this position, it's going to have a different pattern. It's important that you secure the tip properly to the gun, because if you don't, the material will squirt out the sides of the guard. And here's a quick, easy way to make sure your gun's spraying properly. I like to just take a piece of cardboard and do a few trial sprays to make sure that our gun is working properly, so that when you start applying it to the columns or I-beams, you don't have a bunch of messy paint. It's also a good recommendation to do something like this because you can establish a speed and a pattern. If you have any questions about anything that we have covered here today, please reach out to me personally. Dan@ContegoInternational.com or 317-432-3505.